Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we have an elementary level lesson for you.
That's right. We are going to talk about winter, but specifically about the clothes you wear during winter when it's very, very cold outside.
That's right. And I hear you're not too familiar with some of these practices because where you come from, you don't really have winter.
We don't have winter. We have dry season and rainy season, but same temperature.
Well, Chicago definitely has a snowy season, so I'm very familiar with these things. So let's jump right into today's dialogue. We'll be hearing it one time, and in a minute, we'll be back to talk about it.
Bye, Mom.
Wait, Jimmy, it's cold outside. Put a hat on.
Okay, bye.
No, wait, you'll be too cold without mittens.
All right, see ya.
Hold on, with that wind you're gonna catch a cold. Wear this scarf.
Okay, see you after school.
Oh, and earmuffs. Put these on. Here we go.
Mom,
Yes, honey?
I can't breathe.
All right, we're back. So there were a couple of different items of clothing that we saw in this dialogue. So let's look at them now in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, well, first of all, we have Mom and Jimmy. Jimmy is a boy's name. He's a little boy. And Mom is saying goodbye to him, but first she wants him to put on clothes. So the first thing she asks him to put on is a hat.
A hat. Now, you probably have seen like a baseball cap or many different types of hats. And sometimes in other languages, they have specific names for a hat for winter, right? But in English, it's a hat.
Anything that covers your head is a hat. That's
Okay.
kind of like the category.
So maybe this one is a warm wool hat, but in the end, it's a hat.
It's a hat.
Okay. So he's put on the hat. Now what else is he going to put on?
Well, we need to keep our fingers warm. Okay, so there are two kinds of ways to keep your fingers warm. And the way in this dialogue that the boy keeps his fingers warm is with mittens.
All right. So mittens you put on your hands. Now what's the difference between mittens and gloves?
Okay, gloves have special places for each finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each hand.
Right.
And mittens, there's two spaces, one for your thumb and one for all your other fingers.
Okay.
Okay, so that means you can't really hold things.
So you kind of look like a penguin or something like that.
Yeah, you look like exactly, like a penguin. And it's mostly for children. Adults don't wear mittens because adults need to hold things like keys and
Right.
phones and car steering wheels. So in this case, mittens is usually for children.
Okay. So mittens, and well, the mother is still a little bit worried, so she tells him to wear a scarf.
Okay, a scarf is a long, usually made of wool, a long piece of fabric that you put around your neck to keep your neck warm.
Okay, so a scarf.
A scarf.
Okay, and he's put on the mittens, the scarf, the hat, and he's missing some ear muffs.
Okay, this is a little funny because usually if you're wearing a hat, you don't need earmuffs. But earmuffs are like headphones, but they keep your ears warm.
Right.
And we wear these, they don't cover your head, they just cover your ears. And usually they're just two round circles over your ears.
So as you say, exactly, they look like big earphones. And they keep your ears warm. Now, as you say, you usually don't wear this if you're wearing a hat because, well, you would put your ears inside your hat, right?
So it looks pretty silly if he's wearing all of this together.
All right. And so those 4 key items, those 4 key pieces of clothing are for our language takeaway today. Why don't we listen to this dialogue again, and we'll come back soon to talk about Fluency Builder.
Bye, Mom.
Wait, Jimmy, it's cold outside. Put a hat on.
Okay, bye.
No, wait, you'll be too cold without mittens.
All right, see ya.
Hold on, with that wind you're gonna catch a cold. Wear this scarf.
Okay, see you after school.
Oh, and earmuffs. Put these on. Here we go.
Mom,
Yes, honey?
I can't breathe.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at 4 key phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, this first phrase, as I said before, has to do with the mom and the boy saying goodbye to each other. So he says, all right, see ya.
See ya.
Yeah.
Okay, so see as in to look to, right? You
Yeah.
see something. And what about ya? Yeah. See ya.
So this is a very spoken language way of saying you. So we could say, see you later. But if you want to make it shorter, you can say, see ya.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
All right, so see ya. And then what's our next way of saying goodbye?
Hold on.
Oh, wait, that's...
We're not there yet. No. Hold on is our next phrase. And this is a way to say, wait.
Wait, hold on. So you just say hold on, it means wait. It's not really rude, right? It's just a little bit more casual.
Exactly. It's very casual. So you cannot say, hold. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
You have to use these 2 words together. Hold on.
on.
Like I said before with Marco, who wants to go fast, I could say, hold on.
Hold on.
Wait a second.
All right. Okay, so hold on, see ya. And now you gotta be careful because you're going to catch a cold. To catch a cold.
Okay, so a cold is when when you cough, you have a sore throat, it's starting to get cold outside and you don't feel well. Okay, so you have a runny nose. It's a illness. And most people get this every year. It's very common. But you don't get a cold, you catch a cold. Okay?
Okay.
So catch is the same word we use for when we talk about sports, like throwing and catching.
Okay.
It's almost like it just hits you. It's so fast. You just catch a cold.
So that's really important what you just said because you don't use the verb get. You don't get a cold. You catch a cold. Or if you say that you were sick last week because you had a cold, you would say, oh, I caught a cold or I had a cold.
Exactly. So remember, present tense, I catch a cold. Past tense, I caught a cold last week.
Okay. And our last phrase for Fluency Builder is here we go. Here we go.
Okay, so when do we hear this phrase? The mother says to the boy, put these on. Here we go. So she's doing something with him. She's helping him put his earmuffs on. And here we go is a way to say, okay, I've finished. Okay, I'm done. Okay, your earmuffs are on you now.
So you're ready. Here you go.
Here you go.
Right. So we say here we go, like everything is ready. Your earmuffs are on.
Exactly. So maybe I'm on my computer and I have a problem and I'm waiting. And you know when the bar's loading and finally, ding, it's ready. Here we go.
Here we go. It's
now
ready.
I can start. It's ready.
Or sometimes a waitress will come and serve you food and say, here we go. Here's your order.
Exactly. So this is a way to say what you've been waiting for is ready now.
Okay. Great. So I think it's time for us to listen to this dialogue one last time before we come back.
Here we go.
Bye, Mom.
Wait, Jimmy, it's cold outside. Put a hat on.
Okay, bye.
No, wait, you'll be too cold without mittens.
All right, see ya.
Hold on, with that wind, you're gonna catch a cold. Wear this scarf.
Okay, see you after school.
Oh, and earmuffs. Put these on. Here we go.
Mom,
Yes, honey?
I can't breathe.
All right, we're back. So as you mentioned, in Chicago, it's very, very cold. So I imagine you had all of these winter clothes, right?
That's right. And it's funny because I remember being a small child and my mother doing this to me, putting on snow pants and boots and earmuffs and hats and gloves and scarves. And all of a sudden, it's so hot inside because you're wearing everything. And so you can't even walk. Like you were saying,
Right.
you look like a penguin walking out the door. And then you get to school and you're sweating, right? And so in school, we had a special room and we had to take everything off because there's snow everywhere.
Right.
And snow can be very dangerous because it melts and it turns into water. Okay, so I have very strong memories of all of this, putting them on, taking them off, and just being warm all the time.
Well, yeah, when it's cold or you live in a place with cold weather, you have to have these items of clothing because otherwise you might catch a cold.
Exactly. So I hope that no one out there catches a cold, but if you want some suggestions, Wear a scarf, cover your neck. That's the most important. Your head and your scarf are the most important.
All right. And if you guys have any other questions or comments, you can visit our website, englishpod.com, and we'll see everyone there.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Hand covering, separating thumb from fingers. Mitten. Stop. Wait. Hold on. A long, narrow piece of cloth worn around the neck. Scarf. A warm, tubular covering for the ears. Ear muff. Name you call someone you love. Honey. Head covering. Hat.
Let's try that faster.
Hand covering, separating thumb from fingers. Mitten. Name you call someone you love. Honey. A long, narrow piece of cloth worn around the neck. Scarf. Head covering. Hat. Stop. Wait. Hold on. A warm, tubular covering for the ears. Ear muff.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Mitten. For Christmas, his grandmother gave him a pair of mittens that she made herself. Mitten. I like mittens more than gloves because my fingers can keep each other warm. Mitten. My friend has a pair of mittens with snowflake designs on top. Hold on. Can you hold on a second while I tie my shoelaces? Hold on. Hold on. Are those cookie crumbs I see on your sweater? Hold on. Just hold on a minute. I just need to check my emails. Scarf. His scarf was so long that he could wrap it around his neck 3 times. Scarf. Some people wear scarves in the summer or indoors as a fashion accessory. Scarf. My mom wears silk scarves when she gets dressed up, and wool scarves when she needs to go out in the cold. Ear muff. When I was a child, I used to wear earmuffs all the time, but now that I'm a teenager, I don't wear them because they're not cool. Ear muff. I was in a store the other day, and they were selling rainbow earmuffs and leopard print earmuffs and all kinds of other neat designs. Ear muff. My best friend has a pair of earmuffs that he wears all the time. Honey. Hey, honey, I'm home. Honey. Evan, honey, can you deliver this plate of cookies to the neighbors? Honey. Honey, what's wrong? Why are you upset?
Hello everyone and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today Marco and I have an elementary level lesson for you.
That's right. It's a new year, and so we have a lesson for you where we are going to make new decisions and have a new opportunity in the new year, right?
That's right. So the new year is the time to change parts of your life, maybe. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's listen to this dialogue 3 times, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the words and phrases in the dialogue.
Now that it's the new year, I've decided to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah? You finally decided to wipe the slate clean?
You got it. I have a new job, I'm living in a new city with new friends. This is my opportunity to make some small changes in the way I live my life.
So what are you going to do? Take up an art class or something?
Well, first of all, I've decided to stop smoking. It's not that I'm pinching pennies or anything, it's just that I've been smoking since I was 16, and I think it's time to stop.
I'm with you on that one. Anything else you're planning on doing?
One last thing. I've decided to come out of the closet.
It's about time.
All right, we're back. And so if you notice, the dialogue has actually a lot of really, really rich phrases in there. So today we're going to change the format a little bit and we're going to do Fluency Builder in 2 different sections. So starting out with the first one on Fluency Builder Part 1.
Fluency Builder.
So the new year, we think about new things, changing things. We have a great phrase in English to describe starting fresh, starting anew. And we say, turn over a new leaf.
Okay, so you turn over a new leaf. So that means that you are going to maybe make a radical change, right? Some completely new.
That's right. So if you think about it, it's a new chapter in your life or a new adventure or something like that. Maybe you're going to quit your job, turn over a new leaf, start a new job.
Okay. So you can say, I'm going to turn over a new leaf, or Sarah turned over a new leaf and quit smoking.
Let's turn over a new leaf and forget the past.
There we go. All right, so to turn over a new leaf. So just imagine that you have a leaf on the ground and you turn it over and it's nice and clean. All right, and talking about cleanliness, our second phrase is to wipe the slate clean.
Okay, when I think about this phrase, I think about a chalkboard, okay? So a slate is like a chalkboard, and all of the things that you've done, good and bad, are on that chalkboard. And to wipe the slate clean means to erase those words, erase those things. So perhaps Marco and I fight all the time, and we're angry at each other. Finally, I say, listen, Marco, let's wipe the slate clean. Let's forget the past. Let's forget the things we said and start again.
And start a new leaf. To wipe the slate clean is to just start over. You know, just to erase everything. Let's forget about it and start over.
Exactly.
All right, and so we're starting over, and his friend is asking, you decided to wipe the slate clean, and the friend said, you got it. You got what?
What? It.
What is it?
In English, we love the word it.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, you got it means you're right, exactly. You understand what I'm talking about.
Okay, so if you agree with me or I understand what you're talking about, you would say, you got it.
You got it.
You got it.
All right, so I'm trying to explain to you, maybe, Marco, something very difficult, like, if you add 4 and 10, you get 14, but what if you add 10 more?
It's 24.
You got it.
All right.
Okay, so he understands math.
Yes. Okay, so that's the way you would use you got it. It's a really popular phrase. I mean, you can use it on pretty much anything, not only if you're right, but also if somebody agrees with it or you promise something, right? So, are you going to pick me up today? Yeah, you got it.
Okay,
No problem.
so it's a way to agree or to show that you're saying yes.
Yes. Okay, so why don't we listen to our dialogue again, and we'll come back shortly to look at Fluency Builder Part 2.
Now that it's the new year, I've decided to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah? You finally decided to wipe the slate clean?
You got it. I have a new job, I'm living in a new city with new friends. This is my opportunity to make some small changes in the way I live my life.
So what are you going to do? Take up an art class or something?
Well, first of all, I've decided to stop smoking. It's not that I'm pinching pennies or anything, it's just that I've been smoking since I was 16, and I think it's time to stop.
I'm with you on that one. Anything else you're planning on doing?
One last thing. I've decided to come out of the closet.
It's about time.
All right, we're back, so now let's continue with our Fluency Builder. And, they kept talking, and the guy mentioned that he's going to stop smoking. But it's not because he is pinching pennies.
Oh, pinching. That sounds painful.
Right.
Okay, pinching is something you do, especially when you're a child. You squeeze the skin. Pinch, and
Right.
it hurts. So to pinch really is to hold something with 2 fingers. To pinch pennies means to try to spend very, very, very little money. Okay,
Right.
so if we say, if I say, hey, Marco, you want to go to dinner tonight? There's this really nice Italian place. It's a little expensive, but
Oh, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm really pinching pennies these days because I'm kind of broke.
so maybe we'll go somewhere cheaper.
Yeah. So actually, pennies are 1 cent. 1 cent coins, right? They're called pennies in the United States.
That's right. And it's the smallest kind of money that we have in America. So if you're pinching pennies, if you're saving pennies, it means you really don't have much money.
Right,
so
you're really, really saving.
That's right.
Okay, so pinching pennies. So he decided to quit smoking, and his friend agreed with him and said, you know what? I'm with you on that one.
Okay, so you quit smoking, Marco, and I quit smoking. I'm with you on that one. I think it's a good idea. If I'm with you on that one, it means I agree with you. You're doing the right thing.
So you can say, I'm with you on that one, or you can just say, you know what, I'm with you. Do it.
I'm with
or
you.
I'm with you, I agree, or I'm with you, I support your decision.
So you are going to go skydiving in a couple weeks. That means you're
Right.
going to jump out of an airplane. I'm not with you on that one.
You don't support my decision.
I think it's okay for you, but I would not want to do it personally.
All right. Right, so you can do it in that way, or just anything. You support somebody's decision. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
Exactly.
All right, and our last phrase, to come out of the closet.
So who's in the closet?
Why is somebody hiding in the closet?
Okay, someone's not really hiding in the closet. This is a phrase we use to describe someone who is gay or lesbian, who has a secret about being a gay or lesbian. So when they come out of the closet, they're telling their friends and family for the first time that this is how they feel.
So it's basically a phrase that's kind of a metaphor to say, you know what, I'm going to tell everyone that I am gay or lesbian, right?
That's right. Well, it's because in English, oftentimes a closet is a place where we keep secrets. Okay, and so to come out of the closet means to share your secrets with people.
So sometimes in English you say, you have skeletons in the closet.
That's right. This is a little different. Maybe I killed someone, and it's a skeleton in my closet. It's a secret that I keep.
But a skeleton in your closet can also be a very big secret, like you were once married and you never told anyone.
Yeah.
Right.
Or I have 2 kids and I never told you guys.
Right. So those were the skeletons in the closet. But in this case, it's to come out of the closet. And that's always related to telling somebody for the first time that you are gay or lesbian.
That's right. And we don't say it about being straight, which is the opposite, which
Right.
is men who love women and women who love men.
Right.
You don't say it about coming out of the closet there. You say it about being gay or lesbian.
Okay. So very interesting. And so I think we should listen to this dialogue for the last time. And we'll be back to talk a little bit more.
Now that it's the new year, I've decided to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah? You finally decided to wipe the slate clean?
You got it. I have a new job. I'm living in a new city with new friends. This is my opportunity to make some small changes in the way I live my life.
So what are you going to do? Take up an art class or something?
Well, first of all, I've decided to stop smoking. It's not that I'm pinching pennies or anything. It's just that I've been smoking since I was 16, and I think it's time to stop.
I'm with you on that one. Anything else you're planning on doing?
One last thing. I've decided to come out of the closet.
It's about time.
All right, we're back. So this is very interesting, and these phrases are so common because if you have a fight with somebody, you say, you know what, let's just wipe the slate clean and start all over again, or let's turn over a new leaf, let's stop fighting. And especially in New Year's, right? Everyone makes a promise to start fresh.
That's right. Well, the new year, you can use a new calendar. You can take a fresh perspective on your life. It's refreshing. And I think it's good that we do this. We evaluate the things that make us happy and we evaluate the things that make us unhappy. And part of that means turning over a new leaf. Part of it also means apologizing to people.
Right.
Or trying to make the relationships in your life healthier. And I think it's very healthy that the person in this dialogue says, listen, I'm finally going to come out of the closet. I'm going to be honest with my friends and family.
And that's really interesting because, as we said, to come out of the closet is a phrase used in English and mostly related only in this context. So you might see it in TV shows or in a movie. And but it's an interesting topic, still debatable all over the world about, you know, gay marriages and things like that.
That's right. So we're curious about your New Year's resolutions. Are you going to be wiping any slates clean? Are you going to be doing anything differently this year? Let us know on our website, EnglishPod.com. We look forward to hearing from you, and until next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Start anew. Turn over a new leaf. Start over. Wipe the slate clean. Chance. Opportunity. Start. Adopt the study. Take up. To be thrifty. Pinch pennies. Support you. With you. To state openly or publicly one's homosexuality. Come out of the closet.
Let's try that faster.
To be thrifty. Pinch pennies. Chance. Opportunity. Start. Adopt the study. Take up. To state openly or publicly one's homosexuality. Come out of the closet. Start over. Wipe the slate clean. Start anew. Turn over a new leaf. Support you. With you.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Turn over a new leaf. The dragon decided to turn over a new leaf by opening a new bar and grill restaurant instead of burning and eating humans. Turn over a new leaf. My sister has really turned over a new leaf since the last time I saw her. She doesn't get angry easily anymore and is more thoughtful. Turn over a new leaf. English Pod decided to turn over a new leaf and offer learning English in Chinese to its users. Wipe the slate clean. I was unhappy with the way I was living, so I decided to wipe the slate clean and start again. Wipe the slate clean. By wiping the slate clean, he was able to forget the troubles of his past and go on with living his life. Wipe the slate clean. She hoped that by starting this new business, she could wipe the slate clean and be accepted back into the community. Opportunity. Now that I've graduated, this is my opportunity to make a difference in the world. Opportunity. When it was his turn to sing karaoke, he jumped at the opportunity to show his friends how good he was. Opportunity. When they were finally alone on the beach, watching the sunset, he took the opportunity to tell her that he loved her. Take up. I decided I wasn't good at the piano, so I took up guitar instead. Take up. Are you going to take up dancing this year? Or are you going to stick to gymnastics? Take up. I am going to take up learning Chinese as my New Year's resolution. With you. You think he was guilty? I'm with you on that one. With you. Were with you to the death. With you. I'm with you when you say that life's not fair, but I don't agree that we should just sit around and feel sorry for ourselves when life gets tough.